Alright, so I wanted to do a follow-up on the Evants. I got these about 7 weeks ago. I skated them for exactly 6 weeks. They lasted a little bit less time than I thought they would. However, having said that, they were still rather durable on some of these portions. Now, I was skating probably about 4 times, up to 4 times a week because of this quarantine. I had a little bit more time to skate. I usually don't skate that much. Probably about like 1 to 2 hours each session. The tricks I was doing was kind of like kick flips, more like the hard flip, and even up here like the dolphin flip, backside flip variation of type tricks. Obviously some ollies and things like that. So what I'll do is I'll start from the bottom up. Now with the sole, as you can see, it didn't wear out too much, but it got down to the white part right here. Consequently, what I saw was, as I was coming up to like get some flip tricks and adjust my footing, there was a lot of red stuff that would come across the grip tape. So you'll see like a lot of red just scraping across. It didn't break all the way through. One thing I did notice almost immediately with this shoe, which was kind of weird, over here on the side portion, like where the flip tricks and like the ollie tricks are done, it started to kind of like almost, you can see it right here, kind of like peel off. I've never seen that done before on a sole, but nevertheless, it didn't affect the performance of the shoe. Now, one thing I thought was the midsole right here. This is a rubber cup midsole. I thought this was going to be a little bit harder. As I mentioned, previous comment I had on the first impressions of the shoe was that I thought I was going to have to replace the insole, the STI foam insole, with another insole that I have, and I never had to do that. So like I said, it was kind of fooled by the toughness of the outsole here, the midsole here, because basically the midsole inside the shoe was very soft. It was very comparable to the silos. Having said that, another comment that I previously made, I probably have to dial back a little bit. Over here in the toe compartment, I noticed, I don't know if it was just breaking in, like I started to feel a little bit more space in there. I think I'd said before that like it didn't seem like there was a lot of extra space, but it definitely did once I was skating and stuff. I kind of have narrow feet, and so these the compartment around here was just a little bit wide. Like I can move my foot left and right. It's not so much like the silos right here, where it's a little bit more lean. It's a little bit more towards the narrow foot person. It's kind of a little bit more forgiving for that. One thing I would say, kind of like just a little niche thing, is that like I think maybe because my job sometimes causes me to fly back and forth. On an airplane, this would probably be pretty good because you know your feet kind of swell on an airplane after a few hours of sitting there. Other than that, I would say the rubber. This is kind of more like a leather, I guess, material up here on the toe cap. It lasted a pretty good while. As you can see, the kickflip portion still hasn't torn through here. The ollie portion, it kind of got to that fraying part for a while before it finally tore through, and now it's you know, all the way tore through with a hole right there. I can no longer skate these because they're tearing through my socks. I would have put on some shoe goo previous to that taking place, but I wanted to give an actual like accurate account of how many days I was able to skate these, and like I said, it was exactly 6 weeks. So nevertheless, it was pretty durable, but again, you know, it eventually just wore all the way through. I would say right here, this is I guess considered like a leather upper. I thought it was a little bit more synthetic suede. It kind of feels that way. That actually lasted pretty well. You can see that nothing really tore through here on the ollie portion. Up here, the laces were very well protected. You got the hidden lace loops in there. I like the tongue strap. Like I said, you know, I liked it for its functionality, but it's also kind of rather cheap. You can see it kind of just like flops around. One of these straps back here, I wanted to comment on this. It's kind of like a little bit of criticism I have with this heel strap right here. Not like the toe strap where you can put your foot in here and just drag your foot in there as it assists. This you can't. It has really no functionality. It's more than just for the look, for the reflective piece on the back, which looks pretty cool. But it's not like the Muska. I think that's where the design kind of came from. But with the Muska, you can see the design was actually very functional on the S footwear right here on the heel strap for putting your foot in, because you can get your fingers back there, you can pull the tongue, and then just slide your foot right back in. One of the things I miss about that shoe. Other than that, I would say this shoe, I do want to probably get another pair. I probably won't get the black pair. I am very excited to see what other colorways are going to be coming out of these shoe. And for $100, I would say that, yeah, probably be best to find the colorway you very much like. One other thing I do want to mention was I didn't notice this until, again, skating in it. And luckily, it's still pretty cold over here. I'm over on the East Coast right now. But in the summer, it probably would be pretty bad. This material around here, this is around the ankle and then along the tongue right here, on the inside of the tongue, it gets very, very hot. There's very little, there's no breathability within this shoe. And so my feet just sweat a lot. Even if I wasn't skating, if I was just had these shoes on all day and I was walking around a little bit, my socks would just be soaked at the end of it. So that's something definitely to look out for, especially if you're in a hot climate and you're trying to skate like in the summer. It'd probably be wise to not wear them all day, knowing that you're going to have a session all day. I definitely would, bring a change of socks or, just get another pair of shoes. But like I said, I recommend them. They lasted a while. They're very comfortable. And, if you guys got any questions, please feel free to ask. I'll answer them. Thanks.